Greetings everyone. Judy and I put together this presentation to cover a few key points about what to do after a capsize. The video was filmed in the summer of 2014 and its content is the sole responsibility of its authors. So let's jump right in with my talk at Big Lake. Time is not your friend. You're out there and it's wet and it's cold, and I don't think time is your friend. You really should be trying to move deliberately, quickly, with surety. Don't want to panic.
Old circumstances in Big Lake here where the weather was warm, and I knew capsizing because I capsized it myself, and then also in the middle of April in Puget Sound, accidentally capsizing. You go into panic mode.
That is true.
You lose present time consciousness, even when you're controlling that, and you want to upright it as quick as you can. That's just kind of natural reaction. But if you don't bring it up slow, let the water spill out, then you get in the boat and you're still going to be swamped. The water's going to be coming into the centerboard trunk faster than you can bail. So you kind of defeat your purpose if you go up to, so I can't overemphasize, let it take its time, 15 seconds of spilling before you upright the boat. And also when we were in Puget Sound, Vicky was my crew, and we said, oh, well, the crew goes to the bow of the boat, holds onto the bowsprit, that holds it into the wind. That sounded good, but Vicky couldn't get there because we're on the same side as the sail, and she was tangled up in the line. She couldn't make it to the bow safely. So you got to kind of, in ways, improvise, but I can't overemphasize practicing. I was less panicked in Puget Sound than I was here because I had a repetition.
At any rate, to recap, the points I was making are these. First, time is not your friend. Second, it is important not to panic. And, as Dan pointed out, be aware of your crew. Are they injured? Are they in trouble? Just be aware and take appropriate action. Other key points that I should have mentioned are, do not wait to be rescued. Depending on your circumstances, rescuers could be minutes or hours away. Even in an organized Pelican race with a dedicated rescue boat, help can still be precious minutes away. To bring up is equipment. It is important to have the right equipment on board before a capsize occurs. One item at the top of my list are bailing buckets and a sponge or two. Trying to bail with just your hands just doesn't cut it. And make sure those buckets are tied to the boat. Finally, what size bucket should you have? I'd recommend the biggest bucket you can continuously lift for a period of 5 minutes or so. So, here you are. The boat has capsized and you're ready to get it back on its feet. The good news is that riding a sailboat is fairly simple, and a Pelican is no exception. In most cases, a capsized Pelican will lay on its side, and this gives good access to the centerboard. To ride a Pelican, go to the bottom side of the boat and push down on the end of the centerboard. This will roll the boat back upright. Be patient. The boat will move slowly at first, but it will come. Getting your fingers into the centerboard slot is similar to the action of getting back into the boat. In both cases, it is like pushing yourself out of the water at the pool. You push down with your hands and kick. In this case, you get close to the side of the Pelican and push down on the submerged rub rail. As you do this, you are lifted out of the water and the bottom of the boat rolls towards you. At the peak of this exercise, reach quickly with one of your hands for the slot. Once you have done this, try to get your knees or feet on the rub rail while still hanging on. The idea is to get as much of your weight on the rub rail as possible while leaning backwards. The boat will roll onto its side, but be patient. The boat will roll very slowly at first. When it is laying on its side, just follow the standard writing instructions. Getting into a swamp pelican, I think, is best done from the bow. From this position, the process is not much different than getting out of a swimming pool without a ladder. In both cases, you put your hands on the edge of the boat or of the pool and then kick furiously while at the same time pushing down with your hands. Once you have your tummy on the edge of the boat, the mast should be within easy reach to help pull yourself completely aboard. To wrap up this presentation, I'd like to touch on the purpose for this exercise. That is, why write a capsize pelican in the first place? The reason isn't to get back into the race, nor is the reason to rescue your boat and get it safely home again. No, the reason is to get yourself and your crew out of a potentially dangerous situation. When you are immersed into cold water, you start to lose heat rapidly. As you do, your body starts to shut down your extremities in order to protect the heat in your core. Within 10 minutes, you will lose your ability to act. You cannot even tie a knot, let alone swim. Even if you get out of the water, you are still wet and losing heat, just not as rapidly. So, in a capsize, your first priority needs to be to get out of the water as quickly as possible. After you are out of the water, your next priority is to take steps to lessen your heat loss as much as possible. This is why it is important to have a change of dry clothes on board. You want to get into those clothes as soon as it is safe to do so. Your last priority is to get safely back to shore.